Knew that these giant squid existed before, but still, this is being seen as something special, as a breakthrough. Explain to me why.
Because no one's ever seen one alive before. This is absolutely the first time anyone has ever seen these things alive. People have been searching for them for hundreds of years, literally. Not with the technology of today, but they wash ashore, and people know that they exist, but no one's ever seen a live one. They're always dead when they wash ashore.
Well, and also in its natural habitat. That's what makes this so unique and so different, because we have video back from 2006. The squid was alive, but it was hooked and on the surface. In this case, it's in the abyss. You traveled a long distance to see this in its natural habitat. What are we going to learn from this particular footage that we were not able to learn before?
We're going to learn how the thing moves, how it swims, what it does with its arms when it swims. You can't tell either from one washed ashore or from the one that was hooked. By the way, the guy who hooked it is the same guy who saw it under the ocean.
What an exciting discovery for him.
So we said huge. I mean, these things are just simply enormous. They're like what, like four Kobe Bryants stacked on top of each other?
We have a comparison here for you guys so that you can see exactly what this thing looks like.
So 4 Kobe Bryants, a school bus, and that's a 26-foot squid. They can get even bigger than that.
They can get to be 60 feet long. That's a
them
lot of school buses.
I mean, what do we know about them? Solitary things live at, in the vast deep sea?
They live at great depths. We know that. We've always known that because no one ever sees them except when they're dying at the surface. What we know about them is that they are a very, very exaggerated version of smaller squid. I mean, there's a lot of different kinds of squid. This one just happens to be the biggest. And because it's the first time anybody's ever seen one alive, it is an enormous breakthrough for science and for mythology of all things, because for a long time people didn't even think they existed.
And talk about that, about the importance of that, because this is like legends, right, and myths. That's normally what we equate to this giant squid.
Originally, people thought there was something called a kraken, which was a giant octopus-like creature that grabbed ships and ate people and did horrible things. But until we actually see one alive, we're not really sure what they can do. Now we know. Now we know what this actual animal can do. We've seen it at work. We've seen it attacking something, and it changes everything. It changes everything about deep-sea biology. It changes everything about what we know about these large cephalopods.
We've seen so many of the sketches of these giant squids attacking ocean-going vessels from hundreds of years ago. Obviously, it seems like that might be a little bit far-fetched, but this thing is so big. And in the pictures we're seeing of this, it's missing 2 of its arms or tentacles, right?
It has 8 arms and 2 very, very long tentacles, which it uses to grasp its prey. It uses the 2 tentacles for that. Then it wraps it up in its arms, brings it back to its mouth. It has a beak like that of a parrot, only a whole lot larger. And it takes bites out of the prey with that beak. But until we saw one alive, we never knew how this whole operation worked. You knew what it looked like when it was dead. It's this big blob with long arms that lives on the somewhere in the ocean and then washes ashore. But this is so exciting for those of us. I wrote a whole book called The Search for the Giant Squid. In the whole book, we didn't find one. It's all about how we were looking for this animal. And now my book is a little bit obsolete, but still, it's an exciting, exciting discovery.
Well, Richard Ellis, you have us all excited. There's a giant squid, and now we can see video of it.
Hooray!
Congratulations. We're delighted that you came to share your experience with us. Appreciate it.